check to see if it's playing. See if I can hear myself. Hello? Hello? Alright, it's playing. I'm live streaming. Alright, let me close this and let's start with the mufon, UFOs. This whole live stream is about UFO. Say hi, Julie.
Hi.
That's Julie. She's here to randomly come in and say hi. Alright, so this live stream is basically about UFOs. I haven't made a UFO video in a long time, so it's pretty much gonna be winging it. I'm gonna look at some MUFON reports and pretty much look at some videos on UFOs and then tell you some tales of things that happened to me in my life. Alright, so let's look at MUFON UFO reports. Here's some pictures of MUFON UFOs on the Mutual UFO Network. If you need to go to it, it's www.mufon.com/UFO-photos. Alright, so we got here, silent cylinder UFO reported over Canada. A Canadian witness at Hamilton, Ontario reported watching a cylinder-shaped object moving across the sky at 500 feet, according to testimony in case 85204 from the Mutual UFO Network, or MUFON, Witness Reporting Database. The event occurred at 9:43 p.m. on July 16, 2017. The object went from southwest to southeast and made no noise. The witness stated, "My daughter said it was probably a Chinese lantern floating, but it was going from east to west, and the wind always comes from the states from the southeast. It should have turned the object in the direction of the wind if it were a Chinese lantern." One blow-up picture it included shows a donut shape, and you could see the sky through it at times. The object was moving close to ground level. Okay, so you see here in the picture the UFO shaped looks like a lantern, but you don't know exactly what it is. Nobody really knows what UFOs are. It could be spirits, it could be ghosts, it could be interdimensional beings, it could be UFOs, it could be government people with new ships, shiny ships that they get funded by all the money and taxes in the government, run by black projects. Who knows? It could be any of those things. It could be another country with their own military vehicles. So it's really interesting always researching UFOs and never knowing exactly what's in the sky. Alright, Canadian UFO MUFON field investigator Angela Palmiano closed this case as unknown/other. Hamilton is port city of the Canadian province of Ontario, population 536,117. Alright, that's an interesting. It could be a lantern, it could be something else. Who knows? Alright. Alaskan witness says UFO hovered at treetops. Ooh, look at that. That looks like either a triangle UFO or a weird shape there between the trees. Alright, says by Roger Marsh. An Alaskan witness at Seward reported watching a triangular UFO hovering at the treetop level, according to testimony in case 89068 from the Mutual UFO Network, MUFON, Witness Reporting Database. The witness was outside walking along a dark road at 4:48 p.m. on December 23, 2017. The object had three lights at the treetop level across a dark sky, the witness stated. Hovered above and behind the trees to the left side of me. I took a picture. Object descended vertically as I pointed a camera and took a picture in a second or two. Alright, so you see it here between the trees, just sitting there. Alright, next story. Florida witness reports disk UFO in moon image. As you see here, here's the moon, and then here on the left is the tiny UFO. Let's see if I can activate my little pencil thing. Ah, no, that's not how you activate it. Technical difficulties. Alright, let's see. Control Shift 2. Alright. Control Shift 2. Alright, so you see here the moon, and here you see the tiny UFO sitting there. Alright, let's take a look to see if there's any other. It says unknown aerial vehicle. It says a Florida witness at Cooper City reported capturing a disc-shaped object while taking a photo of the moon. According to testimony in case 84752 from the Mutual UFO Network, the witness was in her car taking photos of the moon at 10:02 p.m. on July 1st, 2017. The woman's child followed the report for her. I sat nicely just behind the palm trees in our backyard, the reporting witness stated, and she focused and snapped the first photo of the moon. She noticed a light zoom-in view for a second or less as the object got in place to be viewed in the photo. This happened so quick that the object appeared for that photo and then disappeared. She did not see any other movements except for the time it zoomed into place. It happened so fast that it was an accident on her part. The witness examined the photo. After zooming on the photo, I noticed a very bright white light shining the entire outside edge of what seems to be a disc-shaped object. Also, above the lights, you can see a dark sloping outline, and below the lights, there seems to be some kind of object protruding out with more lights on it. The object could be upside down. The object seemed to be above the clouds when viewing the photo, so it is difficult to guess on the size. Florida MUFON Pete Trado closed the case as an unknown aerial vehicle. You see it here on the left. It does look like it has a little T shape, like a tiny mushroom. Alright, let's look at the next one. UFO turns up in Croatian island photo. You see here a UFO sitting right there in the picture. Alright. It looks so thin. It almost looks like it's just a thin ship kind of hovering. Probably no more than 30 to 50 feet. About the size of a boat. Alright. Let's see. A Croatian witness at Korčula reported finding an unexplained object in a photo when reviewing images, according to a testimony in case 85884 of the Mutual UFO Network. The witness stopped her vehicle to take a photo at 8:21 a.m. on August 8, 2017. It has a live photo and makes two pictures in 1 second. The witness stated, in my iPhone, I am able to click to each photo and then have a few frames to see before the final photo is shown, like a mini video, a cool feature. And that was it. A few days later, the witness was searching for the best images to post on Facebook. I noticed something strange. I have two pictures. One is normal, and one of the other pops up some flying object from nowhere. I was confused because I didn't remember that I saw something like that when I took the shot. I was concentrating to take a nice photo. There was a lot of sun, and I wanted to make it quick because I was on the road with my car. The photos were taken just outside of the town of Korčula, which is a nice view to the monastery on St. Nicola. Both photos are taken in a fraction of a second and has this effect video, so it is very clear that the UFO on the second photo appears out of nowhere. CAG investigator Robert Spearing from Mutual International closed this case as unknown air vehicle. I'm seeing a trend here in a lot of the unknown cases. You never know what it is. It's quite interesting to see it there just floating above the water. Probably observing a home or a possible abductee, who knows, just sitting there. Alright. Next, Pennsylvania witness describes diamond-shaped objects. A Pennsylvania witness at Aston reported watching two diamond-shaped objects, according to the testimony in case 83740 from the Mutual UFO Network. The witness stepped outside onto a balcony at 8:30 p.m. on May 14, 2017. I saw a craft between the trees where there's an opening. The witness stated, at first I thought it was one of those drones. I don't know two guys that have them. It has a diamond shape with bright lights. Then I saw a light bluish green and pinkish red light on the right outside of the diamond, and like the diamond was inside a square. Then a second diamond appeared into the square. It was moving slow, like hovering. The witness went inside to review a phone, couldn't get it unlocked fast enough. It was moving sideways slowly and went behind the trees. I kept looking, and then I saw another craft above, higher up in the sky, then another one more, so three in total. After I saw the first one, they were bigger and shaped different than the first ones. These ones look the same. The witness then asked her father to join her outside. All of a sudden, planes started to pass by, one after another, different shapes and sizes. I took my phone with me and tried taking a photo. The only thing was coming up was a speck that kept moving closer to my phone. So I took a picture of it twice. Then I thought maybe I can videotape it. When we saw it in the sky, it didn't come up to the photo, and what I saw on my phone, I didn't see in the sky. I kept saying I had need a telescope. That wanted that happened for like over an hour. The Pennsylvania MUFON research, field investigator Theodore Bloch closed his case as unknown aerial vehicle. So you see here, it looked almost like a messed up Nike sign in reverse, just sitting there in the night sky. One thing that I find very interesting when it comes to UFOs and capturing things in the sky, you try to take a picture with your phone, and the phone, for some reason, it doesn't compare in anything to what you're seeing. For example, I have tried taking pictures of things in the sky before, and they seem either tiny, so far away you can barely see it. It's like a speck on the camera image itself. But what you're seeing in real life compared to the camera is more vivid and more uh, detailed and bigger, and you could see, you know, a lot more details than a phone camera can ever capture. So, stating on that, let's go to the next story. Orway witness photographs diamond-shaped UFO. As you see here, the UFO sitting right here in the picture. Orway witness near Bicode reported discovering an unknown object in photos taken after climbing a 1.5-kilometer hill, according to testimony case 83772 from the Mutual UFO Network database. The witness and his cousin climbed the top of the hill at 10:54 a.m. on May 6, 2017. We took many single photos in my Samsung Galaxy S3, which has an 8MP camera. The witness stated, I needed to take a photo of us both, and I didn't have a tripod, so I kept my phone on a nearby rock and set a timer and took this photo. The object seemed to stop and hover because if it was moving, we would have gotten shaken image, which we didn't. When we were climbing, we stopped for eating. When my cousin's phone started taking photos on its own, I think it's because it's some kind of EMP emission, electromagnetic pulse, which messes with our phone. His phone was an iPhone 4S. We only saw the object taking the photo approximately at 7 p.m. first on May 6, 2017. I was looking through their photos and found this thing. I thought it was an alien because I believe in aliens, and I was doing a lot of research on UFOs and aliens. I was happy and amazed, and I can't believe I actually came over a UFO myself after doing so much research about them. Kumarzan Ramathan for MUFON International closed this case as unknown/other. Okay, Robert Spearing for the UFO International reviewed the photos. The object is roughly diamond-shaped with longer point on the left side. Spearing wrote on the report, it is assumed the object was traveling right to left. It seems to have a rough exterior, but negativizing and embossing the image shows the bottom to be very smooth. It appears gray and metallic. It is probably less than 1 mile away and possibly 1,000 meters of the witness. This makes it bigger than a bird, probably. Conclusion: this is an authentic photo of very high quality. The object cannot be confused with a bird or a plane. It is clearly anomalous, metallic, and probably under intelligent control. No windows or cockpits were seen. Possibly a drone, but it is not in the shape of any known drone. You see here the UFO sitting right there. It looks almost like a pie wedge sitting there, metallic. You can see shadow on the bottom of it and a lighter top. All right. So I was thinking of doing a story first. Excuse me. All right, doing a story first about maybe a few of the UFOs I have seen, and then looking at some videos, and then finishing the live stream. All right. So while I'm doing that, I'm going to be checking my live stream channel, seeing if there are any people in the chat. But anyways, let's take let's let's take a look at the channel. It shows the live stream going good. All right. So nobody's in the chat. Maybe one day I'll have people watching, and that'd be pretty freaking awesome. All right. So, um, as the story goes, um, I'm gonna first tell the story about my mom. My mom, we lived in Florida, and she told me when she came back from paying the rent, she was like, "Wow, I just saw something really weird out there." I'm like, "What was it?" She said, "It looked like, you know, a see-through, clear, um, kind of ship between the trees." I'm like, "A ship?" She's like, "Yeah, it's a ship that's just hovering between the trees." When I walked in to put the check in for the rent, I was walking to the wood through the woods, and as I'm getting closer to the woods, I see this clear, transparent ship just sitting among the trees in the distance. I was like, "Wow, that's creepy." So she managed to deliver her rent check and then walk back home and tell me that story. And that jumps me to here in North Carolina. I was here in my apartment, and I'm looking through the window, looking outside to see the clouds and everything, just looking up from my bed. And through the trees, I see, it's just like, I best describe it as the Predator. It's kind of like a see-through, you can't really see any physical object. You kind of see a glimmering of kind of like a invisible transparent thing sitting between the trees. I'm like, what is that? And as I'm thinking that to myself, it slowly moves away through the tree branches and just floats away. I'm like, wow. So that's the second story. It's the only two times in the history of that I know, at least, of my family, that the predator description comes in, which is like a transparent, see-through kind of like, can't really see what it is, but it's transparent, just floating in the sky vehicle. I don't think it was too large, but it was quite a ways away, just sitting in the sky through the trees. And the best way I can describe it is the predator effect, meaning that it looks like a predator, just sitting there. So the next UFO story, there's many UFO stories in my family, but this one I was experiencing while I was in Florida, and I was around high school age. I was like 16, 17. I was sitting at my apartment's pool, and I'm just suntanning after I came out of swimming, and I'm just laying there in the pool chair, laying back, and I look up to the clouds. I open my eyes, and it looks like a golden basketball. It was about the size of a basketball, and it was golden, and it was like a circular ball. And it's just like a circular basketball, gold, just floating amongst the clouds, and it came down to one of the buildings that was close to where I was, and this golden ball just kind of like bobbed amongst the windows of the apartments, and then it just kind of like, it looked like it was a curious, I don't know if it was a curious creature or whatever it is, or maybe it was just a drone basketball UFO. Who knows? But it's just curiously bobbing along the windows and kind of like just looking into apartments through the windows, and then it just slowly shot up and just kept going straight up, hovered above the clouds for a little bit, and then just kept going up until it disappeared. And that's another UFO that I couldn't understand what it was. Maybe it's a drone. Maybe aliens have drones that just bob about and look at things while they can't physically go someplace. But it's quite an interesting story. Hi, Julie.
Why would a basketball be anything other than circular?
I don't know, but what I saw was like a
It's a
gold. It
circular
was like a
basketball.
shiny golden like circle just bobbing about, and it was really weird because it just stopped in somebody's window. I'm like, why is it looking through somebody's window? So All right, that was Julie, part two. All right, so as as hey Morgan, I see you on the chat. Yay! So as I'm going to the next story of UFO, I lived in a different part of Florida. This part where the pool story was happening was in Orlando. Now, this story, the last UFO that I saw was in Leesburg, Florida, and this was like a weird shape. It was like two rulers stuck together. Let me see if I can find here in UFO pictures. I think I saw one. This is what it looks like. It was like two rulers stuck together, looking like a physical boomerang, and it had lights like this, but it wasn't red. They were white lights, and they were on the bottom of the ship. Three lights. All right, so glad to hear you too, Morgan. So basically, the three lights just kind of were white, and they were like on the bottom of the ship. And I'm sitting in the balcony of my apartment, and I'm just sitting there looking at the sky, just enjoying the cool breeze. And I see this just slow, meandering ship, just slowly bobbing along, just passing by slowly across the horizon. And I'm like, wow, if somebody would come out and see this, it would be amazing. But there was nobody else in the balcony of my apartment complex because it was like 9 or 10 at night, and there was nobody there. So I was like, wow, just take it in because you don't see this. It's very rare for people to see a triangle like boomerang UFO just kind of just bobbing along and happening, in the Leesburg night sky. So that is my last UFO that I've ever seen. So I've seen like probably four or five, and that's mostly in Florida. Florida is a really hotbed for UFOs, just letting everybody know. All right, so that concludes the story section of this UFO live broadcast. Let's go and see some UFO videos. See what is up on UFO videos. This UFO video is for today. I looked in the settings for the tabs of UFOs just today. There's others that I got for just this week, but I just found this one interesting. UFO near Grand Teton. Apparently, this guy is looking at a live stream, and he sees a UFO that looks like a plane just sitting there in the live stream, and it's frozen in the air. So you see, it looks like a plane just sitting there. It looks like a plane sitting just frozen in the air, but there have been many UFOs that are just described as planes or described as um, helicopters or described as a jet plane just flying through the sky, and then they try to take a picture of it, and it goes either translucent and then it changes into UFO shape, or it just disappears, but still you can see the contrail going through the sky. So that's a really interesting UFO by H Man. I'm going to put a link of this video on the description so that it could be recorded and people can look at it later on when they look at this live stream. All right, let's take a look at the next video. MUFON case 95067, location Ontario, California. September 19, 2018. So this seems like a woman is scared while looking at UFOs or lights in the sky. That's kind of scary, yeah. There's that I think that's one of the true concerns that this government might have is if UFOs appear, people might be really scared, either panic or just go into fear mode and dealing with UFOs. And who knows if they're benevolent or not. Interesting. All right, next. Oh, let me put this link on the live stream. All right. Next, we got Fox News leaked triangle-shaped UFO spotted on U.S. aircraft carrier September 2018. All right. This is a carrier of the Navy, U.S. carrier, and look at that. There's a triangle-shaped ship right here. Alright, it looks silver, triangular. It almost looks like a Dorito. It looks like a silver Dorito. And on the one of the stealth ships, we don't really know what the government has in black projects. There's millions and millions of dollars that go, maybe even billions of dollars that go into each year the government, and there's a portion of it that goes into that we don't know anything about. They could be, creating time machines. They could be creating super amazing technology that can, give electricity forever. Like without needing any energy source. They could have any type of technology so advanced that we have no idea about it, and because they have black programs where nobody is told, the public isn't told about these technologies, they could have anything. UFOs in the sky could just be our governments just having ships in the sky doing their own thing, or it could be that there are actually UFOs and aliens out there that are, you know, from outer space, or maybe the inner Earth. Who knows? But it is really interesting that there's this video of one on a U.S. aircraft carrier. It just means that maybe we have advanced technology that, is 10 or 15 years more advanced than what we currently have in the public's eye. And I believe that that could be true. And you see here the Dorito, the silver Dorito. It could totally be an advanced ship. Alright, next let me give a link of this video to our chat. That is true, Morgan. Anything man dreams could become reality. You don't know anything the government could be doing, Something totally possible. Alright, I'm gonna put the next stream link in there, so I have some record of these videos. Alright, next one. UFO over Odessa. Wow, that looks like a red UFO or some kind of red light in the distance. Let me make it full screen so that we're able to see better. It looks like multiple 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 red lights in the distance. It could be it could be either drones or flares, or it could be a government ship or a UFO. Who knows? And they're changing shape. Definitely changing shape. It's so pretty. Some UFOs are beautiful to look at, and some just scare the crap out of you. Alright, it almost looks like a necklace in the sky. Alright, let's link this one. The reason I'm linking these is because I don't have too much to put in a description, so I'll just put it here, and then as the time, the chat goes, people can see it themselves. Alright, yep, that's it. Live events finished. Alright, that was interesting videos and interesting chat. I'm gonna link the MUFON UFO network photos from earlier on the chat. And if anybody feels like looking at those. Yeah, I thought the same thing. It could be drones, or it could be lanterns or flares, or even a military ship just throwing flares, you don't know, just dropping flares. Yeah. There's so many possibility of drones out there, it's crazy. Because nowadays drones are a real possibility. Also lanterns. So anybody who wants to check out the mufon.com, they have modern reports. You can also, if you ever see anything in the sky, drop a report yourself, report a UFO. So that's it for this live stream. I'm going to go and hop. Yeah, you're welcome, Morgan. Yeah, I put links, as the video goes on. People who see the stories in the live stream later on, they could look at the chat and get the links for the videos. All right, so I'm gonna hop off and probably go look at Jimmy Jam's TV and watch him either play Fortnite or watch him do his nightly talk. All right, guys, I'm gonna close the video. Have a good night, Morgan.